guests. We're thrilled that all of you who are guests thought enough of us to join us this morning. We also want to thank those people who thought enough of the people who are our guests to bring them. Deborah, welcome back from the hinterland of Chutz La'aretz, and welcome back to the land of milk and honey and pleasantries as opposed to other places in the world. We're delighted to see your smiling face this morning. Last week, we talked about the concept of shut up for success. And this morning, to expand on that a little bit, we're going to talk about positive perspectives. One of the first things we spoke about last week was competitors. Many conversations that have gone on in the last week or so have been about, oh my God, the competition this and the competition that. People are operating from a concept of scarcity. This is not in your best interest to look at things from scarcity, but from plenty. There are opportunities for each of us far beyond what we conceive, and opportunities that allow us to really focus on our core strengths and the value that we bring. When you think about it and when you conceive of things from the perspective of plenty and not scarcity, you can be more effective, even for those of us who speak quietly, because that's part of our nature. So let me ask you, who has taken a look at things and said, God, there's a lot of opportunities out there, instead of, what am I going to do to pay the bills? Anybody who would? Shimshon, please, and then we'll get to you in a second.
Well, in my field, there's like infinite opportunity, because there's always another website to build, and there's always another market to conquer, or whatever. So there's no end.
Okay, and you, by the way, are a perfect example of the idea of plenty and not scarcity. Shimshon would be in a position where he could say, Charlie Kalick is my biggest competitor. I don't want him in the room. But that wasn't his attitude. His attitude was, there's more than enough for all of us. Charlie brings great value. We may end up in a power partnership instead of as competitors. I'm delighted to have him in the room. That way we all win. And when you think like that, and when you provide your business with that kind of leadership and foresight, then you have a much better chance of expanding and being successful. You are a guest of Steve, so please introduce yourself, and then we'd love to hear your comment.
My name is Jim Stupka. I'm from the United States, but I currently have a contract here with Sigma Aldrich to do pharmaceutical hardware and software validation services for them. I truly believe that there's plenty of work here for us to do if we target it correctly. That's why one of my charges that I'm doing right now is trying to build a business and an office here in Israel and another one in the UK. So my company and our partners are totally committed to the fact that this is now the time that you do the effort to build the business, because people want it. When the money comes free, they're not going to have anybody to spend it with, because everybody else is gone, except for us that really push the business.
Thank you very much. We very much welcome you to the land of Israel, and hope that you discover, as most of us in this room have, that this is a much more pleasant place to live. We don't have the Indianapolis Colts, but you know, we've got a few other odds and ends that make being here.
You're also missing the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah, it's one time a bunch of people running around a circle drinking milk.
I listened to it on the radio.
Killing you.
That's a very fast.
Yes, Deborah, please, and welcome back. We're thrilled to have you back.
Deborah Askenaze, Committee Organizer 2.0. I think that if you operate out of a place of where you're scared of the competition, then it reflects poorly upon you as a business owner, frankly, because people see that you're not about trying to create something positive. Instead, you're always reacting in a negative manner. So I always think about, meeting with my competitors. Is there a way that we can collaborate? And it's an infinite blue ocean out there. There's always opportunity. I could do the exact same thing as every one of these people in the room here with me. Yet, not everyone's going to choose my competitors. Somebody will choose to work with me because of the connection that we have, or the special assets that I have that they don't relate to in the other people of the room. So that's my attitude, and I think that's the right attitude for success, frankly.
Terrific. Jonathan, down here.
Jonathan Marcus, I'm an insurance broker. There are about another 5,000 of me floating around the country.
Oh, God.
At least. But none of them are me. And that's basically the point. If you're in a business like mine, where basically what we're selling is our level of service, our quality of service, our integrity, and whatever, the competition actually is absolutely no interest to me one way or the other. I go in and do my thing. If I do my work with a good level of integrity and I provide a quality product and I provide quality service, I don't really need to worry too much about the competition, because I know there are plenty of people out there who aren't as good as me. Be absolutely frank with you. Okay? There are a lot of people out there who are trying to make the quick sell and walking away and not taking care of the clients. So the competition, I don't care. I mean, if there's a downturn, an upturn, whatever, there will always be business. If you know how to project, if you know what your product is, if you know what it is you're actually selling. I don't mean selling insurance policies, I'm selling me, because everyone's selling insurance policies which are all more or less identical. Okay, so in a situation of whether there's a downturn in the economy and whatever, it shouldn't really matter to you too much. If you're doing your job properly and you can put that over to your clients, then competition can do what they like. There's room for all of it.
Charlie, please.
Charlie Kalish from J-Town Productions. I related to the question a little differently. I didn't necessarily relate it as compared to competitors, but within our own company. You asked about, do people look and say, oh, there's no work, or there are lots of opportunities? So we're overwhelmed with work. And for us, the real problem is prioritizing. We both were overwhelmed with requests for work, but also how we can help our clients. There's so many different ways. So for us, it's much more of an internal question of how do you prioritize work, both short-term and long-term.
And let me ask you to keep standing for a minute. What did you do, and what do you do to spread the concept of plenty? Because clearly you must be doing something properly because people are seeking you out. Now, some people have said to me that there's a worldwide depression and that the economy's gone to hell in a handbasket and that the world is going to end yesterday or the day before. It doesn't sound like that's happening at J-Town Productions. So perhaps you can share with us how this happens.
I mean, you're right. And where other people are laying people off and taking salary cut bets, we just hired people. So for me, it's all about having a plan and goals, and then having a strategy to achieve that.
Say that one more time, a little louder.
It's all about having a plan and goals, and having a strategy to achieve that.
How often do you write your goals down?
At least once a week. We have
say that again.
At least once a week. At least once a week, all our employees. At least once a week, all our employees fill out a priority sheet. They take that priority and they block it into time in their calendar. We have a staff meeting. We catch up with each other. We adjust as necessary. And all of this is within, those are all short-term goals, but all of this is within context of the overall corporate goals of where we want the company to be. And even that has a medium range and a long term.
Okay. I'll get to you in a second, Asher. There are some things that Charlie said that are very important. When he spoke about his goals, did you hear that he said we? He didn't say I, he didn't say me. This indicates that his business is a team and a collaborative and a cooperative effort. What he's doing is fostering cooperation and not competition within his organization. So my instinct, you can tell me when I'm wrong, is that when someone from your team needs to walk in your door and speak to you, you have a smile on the face and the door is open. It's not, don't bother me. Is that a fair understanding? Unless you're on the phone with your son, in which case you don't talk to anybody.
I was going to say,